want to show you here that as you can see, this is this IPCEF, IPCEF. This one you need to disable it. Okay, no. So based on my research, one of the guy on the blog, he mentioned that because of this command enable, and it cannot forward the traffic to inter-VLAN routing. That's why we need to disable it, and then our layer 3 routing, inter-VLAN routing, will work normally. Okay, so now after we disable, we try again from PC 9 VLAN 30. Okay, so now we can ping to VLAN 20. Let's try ping to VLAN 10. Okay, can ping. Okay, so we successfully configure our core switch with HSRP configuration, and we configure the VLAN for VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 traffic using this core switch number 1, and VLAN 30 using core switch 02. And now we still have one firewall that we want to continue our lab practice, and we configure on our firewall. Okay, so let's continue to configure this firewall, and in order to allow our client can access to internet. Okay, so let me start with our firewall. Okay, okay, so okay, so this is the IP address on port 1 here, WAN port. Normally I always use this IP for my lab practice because it is the IP address from my Wi-Fi router. Okay, okay, so now we already set up IP address for our WAN port here, port 1. Okay, so we end. After that, we go to web browser to configure the IP address for port 2 and port 3, and for port 2 and port 3 it connect to our core switch. So for this lab I am using this VLAN 110 and 120. So let me verify the core switch. Okay, okay, 110 and IP address is .2. So on the firewall we will assign .1. Okay, let me I want to 110. Okay. $120. Okay. So our WAN port it will be, I always use this IP. Okay. Okay, so now as you can see, this is our IP on call switch, and this is we set up our IP on firewall. So now we try to log in. Okay, username, password, admin. Okay, we configure our firewall. Okay, this is my firewall name that I always use. Okay, fortigate firewall, and we go to interface. Port 1, this will be WAN. Okay, this is WAN port. Okay, port 2. Physical link to call switch 01. Okay, I put it like this. Okay, ping. Okay, port 3. Zero 02 ping. Okay, so now we want to configure the VLAN. Okay, VLAN 110. Okay, to call switch 01. Okay, so this will be under this port. Okay, VLAN ID 110. Okay, IP address, it will be 24. Okay, ping. Okay, so now we create another VLAN 120. This will be connected to call switch 2. Okay, and under this interface. Okay, and ping. Okay, done. So now we have this. Sorry, I forget to assign IP address. Okay, Okay, so now we have this VLAN 110 and 120 connect to code switch 1 and code switch 2. So follow our topology here. Okay, so we go to static route, we configure default route from our firewall. Okay, so okay, let's try to ping. Sorry. Okay, now our firewall can access to internet. Can we ping to our core switch? Okay, can ping. Okay. So now we have configure our interface VLAN for our firewall, and we can communicate with core switch, but we need to configure the routing as well between this firewall and our core switch 01 and 02 here, and okay, in this case what we do is OSPF. Okay, we will configure OSPF routing on firewall and on our core switch to do the routing between this VLAN from this core switch to this firewall. Okay, so if we can see that now we have only this connected around. Okay, so if we check from our client PC 1 VLAN 10 here, let's try to check our IP address. Okay, so this is our client. Let's try to ping to our IP address of our core switch, and then try to ping our firewall. We cannot ping. Okay, so for our core switch, we need to configure default route to this firewall. Okay, and then we configure OSPF. So we go back to our core switch. Let's say configure, let's say, let me check. So now we can see this is our inter-VLAN routing connected route, and we don't have any default gateway routing. So now we try to configure our default gateway. So we want to So we want to configure default route to our firewall, and this is our firewall IP address. Okay, so let's try to check again. Okay, so now we have this default route. Okay, and we try to check again. Okay, still not yet get successfully pinged to our firewall. So the next step is we configure OSPF. Okay, so let me go back to Notepad. Okay, this is my Notepad. Let me check my OSPF routing. Okay, this is default route we already configured, and this is OSPF routing. I use area 0 for this configuration. Okay, so for network we have only VLAN 10 and 30. Okay, so let's try to copy this and we pass our configuration. Okay, because we have this network, and then we have another network is this one. Okay, okay, so we have 4 network advertise our OSPF routing. Currently this is our configuration, and let's try to check. Not yet see any routing. We need to go to our firewall. Okay, we go back to our firewall. Okay, so from our firewall we go to network, OSPF, router ID, we can say okay 1.1.1, area 0. Okay, network. Okay, network, we select area 0. We have 2 network, 110 and then $120. Okay, so we apply. Okay, we apply our routing, and then we go to network again. Let's try to refresh our routing. Okay, so now our firewall can successfully establish the OSPF routing and can see that it reached to VLAN 10, 20, 30. Okay, so now this core switch we can successfully communicate with this firewall. Let's try to check our client PC1. Let's try to ping to our firewall again. Okay, so now it can ping. Let's try to ping to internet. Our client can reach to our firewall but cannot go to internet. Okay, so this is configure on core switch 01. We continue to core switch 02, core switch 02, core switch 02. We okay, IP route OSPF here. Let me copy. So configure. Okay. This one. Okay. Pass. Okay. So IP route. Okay. So as you can see, now we have this default route through our firewall, and this is OSPF routing. Okay. Let's go back to our firewall. Let's try to refresh. Okay, so now our firewall can learn new routing through our core switch 02 here. Okay. So now we do the routing on our firewall using OSPF and firewall configuration. We have some basic configuration, and now we want to allow our client to access to the internet. Okay, so we go back to our firewall. We go to policy and object. Okay, address. I want to create address. Subnet. Okay. VLAN 10. Maybe I change to okay VLAN 10. Which color? Okay, light green. Maybe here VLAN 10. Okay. IP rank. Okay, let's try this. Clone. So we call it VLAN 20. Okay, VLAN 20. This orange. Okay. Edit. This one. Let me try this one. Okay. Okay. So now VLAN 20. Let me VLAN 30. Edit. VLAN 30. This purple. Okay. Okay, here 30. Okay, so now we go back to this firewall policy and we try to test to create one policy allow internet. From our what we call, okay, let me try to create one. I go back to network interface zone. Okay, local LAN. Okay, I try to add this VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Okay, and then I try to go back policy and object firewall policy. Okay, one more time. Allow internet access. Incoming interface, I will select local LAN here. Okay, whatever from call switch 01 or 02, and then outgoing will be our WAN port because we want to allow to access internet. And then we try to create we try to select VLAN 10, 20, 30. Okay, the source. So this is our 3 VLAN that we want to allow to internet. Destination, we select all, switch all, NAT. Okay, all session. Okay, so now we have this policy that allow all this VLAN can access to internet. So let's try to test our client. So now I have one PC1 here. PC1, let's go back, try to ping to Google. Okay, can ping. So ping maybe youtube.com. Okay, now can ping. So let's try to check. Okay, so now this is call switch 01, call switch 01, and then our firewall. Okay, let's try to test from VLAN 30. VLAN 30, maybe I try PC6. Okay, open up our PC6. Let's try to get IP address from our DHCP server. Okay, now this is VLAN 30. We try to ping to VLAN 10. Okay, we can ping. So let's try to access to internet. Ping google.com. We cannot ping. Ping. Why we cannot access to internet? Let's try to ping to our firewall 120.1. Okay, we cannot ping. So what is the problem? Let me check. So IP address brief. Okay. Let's try to ping to this IP. Can. Let's try to ping to 110. Can. So let me go back to firewall interface. Okay, so why my VLAN 30 cannot access to internet and cannot okay, 100. Let me go back to address VLAN 30 edit 30. Okay, can we ping to VLAN 30 from our firewall? Can. So let me, okay. One hundred not two Y. Can I ping to my gateway? Can. Okay, so now I want to check this PC VLAN, also VLAN 30. Let's try to check on this PC 9. Okay, from PC9 I can ping okay, so like this, maybe I add another default route to this port. So it means that if client on VLAN 30 want to access to internet, need to go back to this firewall. Okay, but for internal traffic for our network between this local VLAN, it will process by this call switch. Okay, so I want to configure another default route, so let me 110.1. okay, so let me try to do this. It can so now we have a default route to this port and another default route to this port. Okay, so let's try to check again. Can it go? Okay, cannot. Let's try to check the internet. So now it can go to the internet, but I don't know why the traffic cannot access through this port using our call switch number 2. Okay, let's see. Ping google.com. Okay, wait. Okay, so as you can see, the client from PC6, the traffic go to call switch 02, and then it go back to call switch 01. This is call switch 01 by this IP address and go back to this. I don't know why it cannot go through this port on port 3 on firewall. Okay, so let's check again on VLAN 20 here. Okay, VLAN 20 should be okay because it is the traffic routing using call switch 01. Okay, so IP okay, ping google.com. okay, ping youtube.com. okay, so our VLAN 20 also can access to internet. Let check. So it go to call switch 01. okay, but for call switch 02, I don't know why our traffic cannot go through this port number 3. So we need to figure out more detail on our routing and everything, but this is just a basic configuration concept that let you understand how we can configure and deploy our network, and we can have our core switch running at the same time as active for our core switch. So now we try to bring down this core switch and test again our client. So I shut down this core switch. Okay, now it become down. Let's try to check our core switch 02. It will have some update. VLAN 10, VLAN 20 now become active. Okay, so all the traffic will go through this core switch 02. Let's try to check again PC1. I try to ping YouTube. Okay, try to ping. Cannot. Oh, sorry everyone. Now my core switch 02 also down. Let me try to bring it up. Okay. Okay, wait for a moment. My core switch start up again. We want to test. Okay. Okay, so now you can see our VLAN 30, VLAN 10, VLAN 20 become active, and this is our OSPF routing. Okay, so now we try to check our PC. We check from PC1. Okay, PC1 cannot access to internet. Let's try to check PC6. Okay, our client cannot access to internet with core switch 02. Let's try to check our internal inter-VLAN routing. PC6 try to ping PC1. Also cannot. PC1 try to ping to PC6. Okay, so it means that our configuration have some issue with core switch 02. So what is the problem? Okay, so run. Oh, okay everyone, this because of this one, let's try to disable this function. because last time on our call switch 01 we disable it, and call switch 02 not yet disabled. Okay, okay, so let me try to disable it and remove this default route. Okay, no IP route, no IP CEF. Okay, so run. Okay, so now I disable this function. Let's try to check again. Okay, this is some bug issue in our GNS3 lab, but in the real product maybe you don't have any issue. But if you have any issue regarding inter-VLAN routing, you can disable the same feature, this one. Okay, so now let's try to check again. PC1, try to ping. Okay, so now we can we go to internet? Okay, also can. So now we can do it. Okay, let's try to check from PC9. We ping to internet. Okay, ping to youtube.com. Okay, so I hope you understand that now we can have our call switch active, or even one of the call switch down, you still can access to internet and access to our internal network. So let's try to bring it back, our call switch 01, and try to check again for the VLAN 30 whether it access the internet using this port or using this port. So it's depend on the traffic and our configuration. But the most important is that this two call switch can do active and can what we call take over all the traffic. When one of these call switch down, you still can access to the internet and can still access to all your network in your company. Okay, so now as you can see, our call switch 01 start up, and it so that now call switch 02, we are on call switch 02, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 become standby because we configure the active is on call switch 01. Okay, so also the same, you can see from call switch 01, VLAN 10, VLAN 20 is active and VLAN 30 is standby. So let's try to check our PC1. Let's try to try to ping. Not yet, because it takes some time to redirect the routing and the traffic to back to our primary call switch. Okay, let's try to check one more time. Let's try to ping to VLAN city again. Okay, now we can ping. Let's try to ping to internet again. Okay, still cannot. Okay. Okay, so let's try to ping to our firewall 1110.1. Okay, not yet. Let's try to. Okay, so now we can ping our call switch. Try to ping firewall again. (120) also cannot ping. Let's go to call switch. So IP route. Okay, so our OSPF not yet established. That's why we cannot get to our firewall yet. It means that so okay everyone, sorry for my mistake here, because just now we shut down the switch without saving our configuration just now, and now I lost all my configuration. Let's go back to our call switch. Okay, let's try to copy back our configuration, routing configuration here. Sorry, my mistake here. Okay, I save my configuration, and then now we can see that our OSPF is established and we can reach our firewall now. Okay, so let's try to verify our routing again. Okay, now we have default route and we have OSPF routing. Go back to our okay, so now we can see that this is this is OSPF routing on call switch 01. Okay, so we go back to our PC1. Just now we cannot get to our firewall because we don't have default route and we don't have OSPF routing. We lost all configuration. This is my mistake. I just shut down the switch and without saving the configuration. Okay, so let's try to check again. Okay, now we can let's try to ping Google again. Okay, google.com. Okay, so now we can address google.com. Okay, VLAN 10 using Cosmic 01. So how about VLAN 30 here? Okay, let's try to ping youtube.com. Okay, youtube.com, and then try to check our traffic. Okay, so as you can see, it select Cosmic 01 as well. Okay, so this is if you want specific traffic or you want to have all the traffic that goes through VLAN 30 need to go to this port. Maybe we need to go deeper to the advanced configuration for the traffic load balancing, something like that. Okay, but this is just our lab practice, so we can have this what we call call switch primary and backup configuration, and we can do active for our VLAN traffic as well. Okay, so let me try to check. Okay, PC3 here, VLAN 30. One more testing on our client. IP DHCP. Come on. Okay, so now I try to ping to youtube.com. I can access to internet. I try to ping, sorry, I try to check this youtube.com. Okay, also access to this Cosmic 01. Okay, so this is all about our lab practice configuration. We continue from our previous lab practice that we configure call switch, and now we configure firewall to allow our client can access to internet. I hope you get some idea how to configure your own network infrastructure, your network design. So this is for small company. If you have around 20 to 50 staff, and you have only limit budget, you can deploy this topology. If you have a better design, you can have your own network design. So we cannot say, okay, this design is wrong, your design is right, or other design is right. We cannot say like that, because different people come out with a different design to meet different purpose, and it align with our company budget as well. Okay, so this is just a lab practice to get more understanding on concept of network design together with our firewall. Okay, if you have any other question, please comment below. And also if you see that I have some mistake, you can correct me by comment below in my video as well. So thank you very much everyone that watching my video till the end.